Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're really diving deep into some interesting stuff from Lamede Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's fascinating.
Yeah, she is. From what you shared with me, it seems like she's this London School of Economics grad who totally did a 180, left banking to figure out how to help people with their money.
It's true. She really helps people unlock their financial potential.
And I have to say, her story is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Hackney, then navigating the world of finance, that's quite a journey.
It really is.
But I think what really got me was this whole thing about money mistakes, like the ones we make without even realizing it.
It's so true.
Yeah, so she talks about money traumas and how those experiences can totally mess with our spending habits.
It's true. They can really shape our subconscious spending habits.
Okay, so for those of us who don't speak finance, what exactly are money traumas?
So she gives this example, right? And it's so relatable about buying those crazy expensive designer things just to impress our younger selves, the version of us who, maybe didn't have as much.
Look at us now.
Yeah, see, younger me, we made it. We can buy anything.
Oh my gosh, I'm so guilty of that.
It's like we're trying to rewrite the past or something.
Totally. But then she talks about this lifestyle inflation thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think we've all been there.
For sure.
You get a raise and suddenly you're spending more.
It's like magic. Your expenses just magically expand to match.
Exactly. But here's the kicker. She has this story.
Oh, tell me.
About overhearing these senior bankers.
No way.
Complaining about money.
Get out.
I know. And these are high earners. They're still feeling the squeeze.
That's wild. What were they saying?
She was saying they were stressed about not being able to afford a third holiday that year.
Oh my goodness.
And it really makes you think.
It does.
If these high earners are struggling, then it proves that lifestyle inflation can happen to anyone.
It's so insidious. It really is.
It's more income, more spending, but no real progress.
Yeah, you're stuck. You're not really building wealth.
So how do we break this cycle?
Well, Lamede suggests the 50-30-20 rule.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so basically you're allocating your income like this. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and then 20% for savings and investments.
I love that because it's not about depriving yourself.
No, not at all.
But it's about being intentional with your money.
Exactly. You've got to be intentional and align your spending with what truly matters to you.
Totally.
She asked this question in one of her videos, and it's so good. What really matters to you?
I love that.
And she's all about encouraging people to really think about that question and then align their spending with their answer.
That's so powerful.
It's about creating a financial life that supports the life you want to live.
I love it. When she was talking about aligning your spending with your values,
Yeah.
it really got me thinking.
It's important.
It is, because I've totally been there wrestling with that fear of not having enough.
Oh, yeah.
That scarcity mindset thing.
It's real.
It can really hold you back.
It can. It really can. And she makes this really interesting distinction between saving and hoarding.
Okay.
Because on the surface, they might seem kind of similar,
I could see that.
but emotionally, they come from such different places.
So tell me more about that.
So hoarding comes from this place of fear, you're clinging to your money,
Right.
afraid to let go.
Because if you spend it, it's gone.
Exactly. If you spend it, you're risking your security.
Oh, I feel seen.
But saving is different.
How so?
It's about intentionality, having a clear purpose for your money and knowing that it's working towards something.
It's about making your money work for you.
Yes, 100%.
Not the other way around.
Exactly. And that's where her whole concept of assets versus liabilities comes in.
Okay, I was hoping we'd get to that.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when you think of a house, you think asset, right?
Of course.
But she challenges that.
Really?
Especially in those early years of home ownership.
Wait, so you're telling me my dream home could be a liability?
Well,
How is that even possible?
think about it when you first buy a place,
Yeah.
especially with a mortgage.
Right.
You've got all these expenses.
True.
Mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget maintenance.
Exactly. All of that. And in those first few years, those costs can be way more than what the property is actually gaining in value.
So my house could be a money pit.
Not necessarily. It's more about understanding the bigger picture, right? And that's why she stresses knowing your goals and your risk tolerance when you're making investment choices.
Because it's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Speaking of investments,
Yeah.
I was curious about Lamede's approach because her videos make it seem like she's really strategic about it.
Oh, she is.
Not just chasing trends.
No, not at all.
So what does she do?
It's actually a really interesting mix. She invests in property,
Okay.
but with a lifestyle twist.
Oh, how so?
She's mentioned wanting to actually live in one of her properties at some point. Yeah. And she's got some businesses going, and she's into the stock market, too.
Wow, she's got her hands in everything.
She does, but it's all very intentional.
I love that.
It's not random at all.
It can be so overwhelming, though.
Oh, tell me about it.
All the different ways to invest.
Right. Where do you even start?
I think what I'm hearing is that you don't need to be an expert in everything at once.
Definitely not.
Find what works for you.
100%.
Master one thing and then move on to the next.
Exactly. Start small, build a solid foundation, and go from there.
It's inspiring to hear about Lamede and everything, but I gotta say, going from scarcity to abundance sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, for sure.
It's easy to say, think abundantly, but it's harder to actually do.
It's so true. It's deep down.
Yeah, those beliefs can be tough to get rid of.
Totally. It really is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not like a light switch you can just flip.
So where do you even begin?
Well, she talks about this idea of awareness, like that's the first step.
Okay.
You've got to pay attention to what you're thinking and doing.
To see where those thoughts are coming from.
Exactly. Like, are you acting out of fear or are you coming from a place of abundance?
Oh, wow.
It's about noticing those moments.
Like when you're trying to do everything yourself.
Yes. She gives this example of like assembling furniture.
Oh my God, I've been there.
Right. Instead of just paying someone to do it.
I can do this to save money.
Yeah. But is it really about saving money or are you afraid of not having enough?
Wow, yeah, that's deeper.
Yeah.
So, okay, you start to notice those patterns.
Right.
Then what?
Well, then she talks about exposure.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people who think differently.
Like abundant people.
Exactly. People who embody that mindset you're going for.
I love that.
It's like immersing yourself in a new language.
Totally.
Read those books. Listen to podcasts.
Follow inspiring people on social media.
Yes. All of that.
And she gives a lot of recommendations in her videos, too.
She does. She's great for that.
Which is awesome.
But, then she talks about the big one.
Oh. What's that?
Reframing.
What's reframing?
It's about changing how you see money.
Instead of it being like a bad thing.
Yeah. Instead of stressing about it, think of it as a tool.
A tool for what?
For freedom. For opportunity.
I love that.
It's powerful.
So it's not about holding on to every penny.
Right. It's not about hoarding.
It's about using money for good.
Exactly. Money is energy. It's meant to flow.
That's a good way to look at it.
Wow.
So we talked about awareness,
yes,
exposure, and reframing.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we make it last? Like, how do we make sure those thoughts stick?
She's all about consistency and patience.
Okay.
It takes time.
It's like a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. Celebrate the small victories along the way.
Be kind to yourself.
Yes. It's a journey.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you know what I think is so cool about everything Lamede says?
What's that?
It's about realizing that we have the power.
Yes, we do.
To change our story.
We're not stuck.
Yeah. We can make different choices.
Exactly.
So to everyone listening, you have the power to decide what your relationship with money looks like.
You really do.
If you take those small steps,
one day at a time,
you can achieve amazing things.
Abundance is out there.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in your abundant potential.